That's awesome. Man, that's fantastic.
Yes, sir.
Keep that
Thank
down.
you, Mr. Speaker.
Can I start this real quick? Welcome everybody. This is a big day for us, and we've got some of the greatest leaders in a generation or more up here behind this podium, and I'm excited to celebrate this moment with them. Thanks to our appropriators and Chairman Tom Cole for being here today. This is a monumental achievement, and I think everyone in this room understands what has just been done here. This isn't just a news conference. I would call it a celebration of sorts. Despite the noise, despite our slim margins, despite the fact that most members in the House have never gone through a regular member-driven appropriations process before, this team got it done. They stood together and they did the hard work and they got it done. The House has now passed all 12 appropriations bills, and the Senate will soon do the same, and the President is going to sign them into law. What a concept, gentlemen. I want to say this again for emphasis, and I don't want anybody to miss the significance of this. The House has passed 12 appropriations bills, and soon they'll become law. Now, many people in this room said that can never be done before. We had lots of naysayers, but we worked right through that. It really is a remarkable thing. With the passage of this package of bills today, Republicans will have finally replaced the last of any Biden-era spending levels with Trump-era spending levels and policies. We've spent less. We've saved more taxpayer dollars. We've codified efforts to remove waste and fraud and abuse. We've advanced a full budget that provides real teeth and delivers the America First agenda, just as we promised that we would. This is the most significant progress towards restoring regular order in this institution in many years, and everybody here knows that. And it's because of the work of the appropriators standing behind me. Our appropriators, this team, led so well by Chairman Cole, worked day and night for months to produce this outcome. It wasn't easy. It took a lot of work. We had to rebuild the muscle memory. As you've heard me use the metaphor, it's like trying to push a boulder up a hill. But this group did it. And I often say this about building muscle memory. It's true. Washington has just become far too accustomed to governance by omnibus. And governing by omnibus is not the way it's supposed to work. It's not how the Founding Fathers designed this system to work, because it's not responsible, it's not good stewardship, and it's bad policy. It's bad politics, and it weakens our Article I authority. We break bad habits by replacing them with healthy ones, and that's what we've done here. And I want to be very clear, this is a committee-led, member-driven funding package. It's exactly what we said we were going to get back to. With the passage of these bills today, Republicans have demonstrated that the appropriations process is alive and well, and we are changing this institution to work for the people, to make it work better. I wanted to be here to kick it off and give my gratitude to these members for their extraordinary work. They're heroes among us, okay? And they're all being patted on the back and applauded, and they deserve it because they know what they've accomplished here, and I think you do as well. And I've got to go run to the next event, but I wanted Chairman Cole to come up here. He's going to answer the questions, and he deserves to be able to answer these questions today. Right.
Well, Mr. Speaker, don't leave too quick, because I want to brag on you real quick. This would not have been possible without our Speaker and his leadership team. Leader Scalise, Whip Emmer, Conference Chair McLean. They set the conditions, and frankly, they pushed the work down to us and out of leadership offices down to the committee level, just as the Speaker said he would do. So his commitment to regular order, to regular process, to moving through this, to allowing us to do the work we think we know how to do, and frankly, to allow us to reach across the aisle when we need to reach across the aisle. This Speaker is the reason that these 12 bills happen. And Mr. Speaker, we need to applaud you and thank you. I a little more than I can say. And now you can go whenever you want. But I wanted the Speaker to know how much we appreciate him. I've got a couple other people to thank, and then I'm going to call on the Cardinals in order. But I got to thank the White House and the President of the United States. President Trump endorsed every one of these packages. His support and the work with his team at the White House is absolutely indispensable in getting this done. And again, it's a reason why this hasn't happened for a long time. And I want to thank President Trump and his team for everything they did to make sure that we had unity when we needed it and to, frankly, have flexibility when we needed that. So the president deserves a lot of credit for this. We're always happy in Congress when we get something done in a bicameral way, and we hope that's coming next week when the Senate comes. But the President of the United States has to sign these bills, and the President of the United States can sustain any veto he cares to cast. So the fact that he was an active participant and helpful to us is something that means a lot. Finally, I want to thank every member of the committee on both sides of the aisle. There were a lot of bipartisan votes today. I would be remiss not to thank my working partner on the other side, Rosa DeLaura. We didn't vote the same on every single item in front of us today or on every single bill, but we would not have been able to have this process without her cooperation and her help and her commitment to Article 1 and to regular order. The same thing is true with our colleagues on the other part of the rotunda. They haven't quite finished their job, but Susan Collins and Patty Murray are fantastic to work with. And again, while this is a big day for Republicans, this is a bipartisan, bicameral product in front of us that was negotiated out on both sides of the aisle. So it's not just a partisan victory, it's a congressional and bipartisan victory. I appreciate that. Finally, I want to thank specifically my Cardinals. We adopted a common philosophy at the beginning. I know Ms. DeLaura feels the same way. Let's push these decisions down to the subcommittee level and let the Cardinals and the ranking members do their work. And by doing that, honestly, those are the best informed experts we have in their subject matter on the committee and, frankly, usually in the House. And when they make decisions and they make deals, I said, if you can stay within your numbers, I don't care what you do. I mean, I will be supportive of whatever you produce as long as you stay within the top lines that you've been given. They did it. And quite honestly, every level you move this up, whether it's to the four corners or to the leadership, the decision becomes less informed and more political. And so keeping it at the subcommittee level was really the key. And the Cardinals, and again, their counterparts on the other side of the aisle, were really responsible for this success. Now I want to turn it over to my mentor, my master, the Dean of the House, the Chairman Emeritus of the Appropriations Committee, and probably the greatest appropriator certainly in this century, but probably the last one too, because he was here for that. Yeah, and one before that, yeah. Chairman Rogers.
Well, thank you very much for those kind words, or are they unkind? This is a big day. I came on the committee in 1983 under President Reagan, and we faced the same challenges then as we face now, and that is, how do we control the power of the purse and subject every penny of federal dollars according to the philosophy of Reagan then and Chairman Cole now. We struggled every year to try to pass these 12 bills with spotty success until Tom Cole came along and gave us a brilliant plan, but also, and more importantly, a brilliant piece of work by the Cardinals and all members of this committee. So, Mr. Chairman, thank you for the brilliant leadership you have given to us and brought 100% of every dollar we spend under the power of the purse of the Congress. And that's why we owe you so much. Okay, shall we make it two in a row? Yeah.
I will add one of my favorite sayings is, as a practicing Christian, I have a moral dilemma. I always say, what would Jesus do? When I have an appropriations dilemma, I always say, what would Hal Rogers do? And you always got the right answer. With that, I want to go to our second longest serving member on this committee and chairman of the largest domestic spending program, and did a brilliant job on what's a really difficult and challenging bill. And that's Chairman Adderholt of Labor, Health and Human Services and Education.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well, it is, as Chairman Rogers says, it is a great day for appropriations, and thank you, Chairman Cole, and thank my fellow appropriators from the cardinal standpoint, but every single member of this committee that worked on these bills over the last several months. And it's been many years since we have accomplished what we did today. I was honored to serve as chair of the Labor, Health and Human Services, Education and Labor Subcommittee, and to lead and trying to rein in spending where we needed to rein in spending, but also support those programs that need to be supported. And again, Chairman Cole's leadership on this, coupled with the Speaker, who you just heard from shortly, when he made the statement a couple of years ago, right after he became Speaker, he said, no more omnibus bills. And people took him at his word. And so I think that's why we are where we are today, is because the Speaker, working with this committee, we were able to move forward. And so I want to thank Speaker Johnson for his leadership and allowing us, Chairman Cole and all of us on the Appropriations Committee, to move forward to come to this point. So again, it's an honor to serve in this institution, to serve on this committee, and to finally get 12 appropriation bills across the finish line. And we look forward to, as Chairman Rogers says, to doing it again next year. Thank you.
I think you took my notes. I got the last two. Next, I'd like to introduce, I think the guy I learned about being a chairman from, more than anybody else, of a subcommittee was Mike Simpson, our chairman of Interior Sub. So he's done a brilliant job on a challenging bill.
Thanks, Tom. Thank you. Whether you believe it or not, this really is a big day. We've moved this when nobody thought we were going to be able to move all these 12 bills across the floor. But we know how important it is. We're not done yet, though. We've got to progress better next time toward getting back to regular order, where we actually have all the appropriation bills done on time, which is October 1st. I'm not the brightest guy in the world, but I can tell you when October 1st comes. Somewhere between September 30th and October 2nd. I know it's going to come, and that's when the bills are due. So we'll keep pushing it, but I will tell you, when Speaker Johnson was running for Speaker, I spoke to him for about a half hour before the vote, and we talked about appropriations, and he talked about how committed he was to working with the appropriators and with the chairman to make sure that we got back to regular order, that we didn't do omnibuses, and that we did the job that we're supposed to be doing. And he's done that. Without his leadership, this would not have been possible. And I will also tell you, without Tom Cole, this would have not been possible either. Every member, every cardinal, when we'd go to Tom and say, well, we got a problem here, he said, solve it. He put it down on the subcommittees and said, you guys solve it. You know your bills. And that's what I think the key is to getting this done, is letting the members that know what they're doing, know the bills, know they're the experts in those areas, do their job. And that's what we've done throughout. So thanks, Tom. Great job. We'll look forward to working with you on the next round. In fact, I will tell you what's kind of interesting. Getting this done now, we're already setting up hearings for next year. And it's so important to get those hearings started and get them going. But in February, we'll be holding hearings. In the previous year, we weren't doing it till April, May, that kind of stuff. So we'll be able to do our job much, much better by getting these bills done. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you. Well done. Next, I want to call up my classmate and my neighbor, Judge Carter from Texas, and a great friend, great colleague. And he's been resting all Christmas as the rest of his work, because he got his damn work done last year. So. Judge?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I'm proud to say I was first. That's why he said I get to rest. But this is a team action. Every bill, every member made up their mind they were going to make sure every one of these bills passed. And God bless every one of you. We worked the floor. We made it work in every form and fashion. And it was so fun to do a Four Corners as a Cardinal and get to sit there with Debbie Wasserman Schultz as my counterpart. And Debbie's a good girl and I love her. And we discussed it and we fought about it, but we fought civilly. And we came out with a great bill. We funded our Veterans Affairs, and more importantly, we funded the needs of our military bases around the country and around the world. I've been honored to serve on this subcommittee. I love this subcommittee because I like the idea of thanking those guys that fought for us and thanking those guys and gals that are fighting for us right now by giving them what they need to have a better lifestyle. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for giving me that opportunity. And this man changed appropriations the way it's supposed to be. He's my hero.
Well said. Now, you don't get many Texans that are that kind to you from Oklahoma. Okay, I next want to call up my good friend and a guy that I admire as much as any member in the House, Ken Calvert, who handles half the discretionary budget of the United States of America and applies it to keep us all safe. So, Mr. Calvert.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's a great day for you. We really appreciate all the hard work and commitment you've made to bring this committee back to the glory that we should have, and I appreciate that very much. It's also a great day for the men and women who serve in the United States military. We made sure that we took care of them as we should. We have a common saying, and this is on both sides of the aisle. Our job is to make sure that the men and women who serve the United States military are provided the best standard of living we can afford, that we give them the best equipment, and if we go to war, we win, they lose. And that's the principles in which we work together to make sure that this bill succeeds. And we do a lot in this bill for more ships, more planes, more munitions, more of everything that we need to make this country safe and secure. So working with our counterparts, working with the United States Senate, and working with the administration, we provided that that's what's needed that's in this bill. So thank you, Mr. Chairman, for giving me this opportunity, and we appreciate it, and God bless all of you.
I next want to introduce a guy that probably gets along with senators better than they get along with one another. Chuck Fleischman did an unbelievable job of working through a difficult situation on the other side of the rotunda, put together a great bill, got it across the floor as well as out of committee. So my friend, Mr. Fleischman from Tennessee, Chairman of Energy and Water.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, thank you for those accolades. But ladies and gentlemen, I have been privileged to chair the Energy and Water Appropriations Subcommittee. It funds the Department of Energy, the Army Corps of Engineers, and the Bureau of Reclamation. America needs more energy, and we cannot fail, and we did not fail in this bill. But I would be remiss if I didn't say this. Chairman Cole ushered in a new era in appropriations. When the Appropriations Committee works, it works for our great constitutional republic. Things work well. There's a balance of power. I thank President Trump and his great administration for giving us a budget, but then Congress comes together and works and gets it done. I would also be remiss if I didn't thank Susan and the appropriations clerk. When the clerks get calls before Christmas, during Christmas, and after Christmas to work with us, it's constant interaction. And many folks just say, well, thank you to our staffs. Our staffs are part of the process that got this done. And I will close by saying this. We have a great constitutional republic. Each of us come from different parts of the country. I'm privileged to represent the great people of the state of Tennessee. But the reality is, when we work together, and you look at the votes, big bipartisan numbers, big bicameral numbers. The House and the Senate came together. I know the President's pleased with this work product. When our process works, it works better than any place in the world. So God bless America. God bless the Appropriations Committee. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, Appropriations is back. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to go to the guy that probably had the toughest job, and I call him the Lone Ranger because we put him out there all by himself, but I can't remember the last time a Homeland bill has come across the floor. So Mr. Amadei, is he here? God, all that buildup, and he's not here. He's not here. Okay, and I think Mr. Harris couldn't make it. He got an ag bill. He's kind of like the judge. He got it done last year. He got it done early, and we appreciate that effort very, very much. Mr. Valadeo also got his job done last year, so he's had a better Christmas than anybody else up here. Let me turn it over to my good friend, Mr. Valadeo, Chairman of the Ledge Branch Committee.
Thank you, Chairman. Today, Congress has followed through on its commitment to get back to regular order and deliver for the American people. By passing all 12 fiscal year 2026 funding bills, we're restoring a process that puts accountability and responsible governments first. For too long, Washington has relied on short-term extensions, Band-Aid fixes, and last-minute deadlines. That's not what Americans expect, and certainly not what they deserve. As chairman of the Legislative Branch Subcommittee, I took this responsibility seriously, and our bill focused on strengthening security across the Capitol complex, supporting hardworking sworn officers and staff who keep this place running, and ensuring the Capitol remains open to students, families, and visitors from all across the nation. We made real progress in each of those areas, and I'm proud of what we were able to accomplish together. Appropriations is not easy work, and it's not meant to be. It requires compromise, member-driven leadership, and commitment to getting the job done and done the right way. While the process takes time, this is what a return to regular order looks like. And today's marks an important step towards restoring trust in how Congress handles the funding of the American people. I want to thank Chairman Cole for his steadfast leadership for keeping the appropriations process on track. I mean, we honestly could not have gotten this done without the chairman and his team for this. And my time in Congress, I've always been on the Appropriations Committee. This is the type of day we dream of. So most importantly, I'm proud of the work our members and staff put into this to deliver the full year funding and provide certainty for families, businesses, and communities across the country. Thank you, and I look forward to getting started on fiscal year 2027. So thank you, Chairman.
You bet. Thank you. I'm going to open it for questions, but before I do, I was talking to my chief clerk earlier today, Susan Ross, who is right there, and I said, you know, this operation is sort of like the European theater in World War II. I'm kind of Eisenhower. I'm really a diplomat, a glad handler. The Patton of this army is Susan Ross. We would not have gotten here without her. So with that, we're open for questions.
I must love it.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Oh, this one's actually on behalf of the FY27. You're mentioning, I think, some areas that are coming down the pipeline. So I'm trying to get an idea of what the schedule is.
Well, I think Mr. Simpson said it pretty well. We're able to start a lot earlier this time. Now, again, we need some help. We need a presidential budget as early as we can get one, and I know that's not easy to do, so I'm not setting dates or deadlines, but we got to have that, and frankly, we need a congressionally passed budget if we can possibly get one. I'll mark to anything that can pass the floor of Congress, not just out of committee, but it's got to get across the floor, so hopefully that will happen, but as Mr. Simpson said, we're starting our hearings in February, so we will get to work. There's a lot of issues we know are coming up. Again, I trust the Cardinals in each of their respective areas to know what they need to have hearings on, the tough issues in front of them. And frankly, I know they'll do that in concert with the ranking members of their respective subcommittees, just as I will with ranking member Delora, the full committee. You know, in the end, it will start out as a very Republican bill, but to pass and certainly to get through the Senate where you got to get to 60, it's going to have to evolve into a bipartisan product, and that's what we'll be doing. That's what we were able to do this year. You start in one place, it's not going to be where you end up, but you have to have the right place to start. And so it would be helpful to us if people that are responsible for producing budgets produce them quickly, and then we can let the Cardinals go to work and decide what needs to get done. Who else? Yeah, sorry.
Hey, so the Democrats said they were able to get more specificity, less wiggle room for OMB to spend money how they see fit. I was wondering if you agree with that assessment, and is that something also that Republicans on the committee welcome?
Yeah, we do. Look, OMBs are absolutely critical to this. You can't do a budget for the executive branch if you don't have cooperation from the executive branch. We have an excellent line of communication over there, but you know, in the end, we also have to write something that will pass, and we represent collectively on that committee, Democrat and Republican alike, what the American people think in their respective districts and what have you. So it's never going to look exactly, the final product's never going to look like, frankly, either the congressional budget, the House-produced budget, or the presidential budget. But they're essential keystones. And again, we've had an excellent relationship with OMB. It was very helpful as we were negotiating over Christmas and through the holidays. And frankly, we have to have a clear idea of what red lines are for the president. People forget sometimes up here, the president has to sign it. And so we intend to work with the president, and I think we have, and we very much appreciate the fact that President Trump endorsed all 12 of these bills. I mean, we have a statement of administration policy on each of these packages, could not have been better. And again, we've got a close relationship there, and we intend to keep that. Yes, sir.
Mr. Cole, last year we saw the first successful rescission package request. Do you expect any rescission requests?
You would have to ask the OMB director that. I mean, I really don't know what they're planning to do. I think sometimes there's too much fear about this. Look, Congress voting on rescission packages is perfectly appropriate. We do it all the time. You know, we reclaim money, we redirect money. Nothing unusual about that. The packages we got were reasonable. They passed to Congress. So I'm fine with that, and again, happy to work with the administration. Sometimes if you're actually doing the job, as the president and his cabinet are doing the job, is we don't need this, or this would be better spent here. We're always interested in doing that, but the final decision does rest with Congress. Yes, ma'am.
What are you going to do to celebrate?
Well, I think Mr. Calvert and I will probably be having a cigar and a brown beverage very shortly. And others are invited to participate as they choose, but all are welcome on both sides of the aisle. So if you don't like the smell of cigar smoke, stay away from H216 for the next couple hours. Anything else?
Let's go to H216.
Okay, I think that's good. Thank you guys very much. Gentlemen,